Today I'm going to talk about how can you find your therapist. This is so not easy sometimes, and this is something I really want to talk about. How do you find your therapist? If you've never been to psychotherapy and you're coming to this point when you realize that you're ready to work with someone one-on-one, then this video is for you. My name is Dr. Kotlik Konev, and I'm an owner of a beautiful and small retreat center in California. I've finished my doctorate in clinical psychology. I'm also a yoga and meditation instructor. So first of all, you want to ask yourself, what am I actually looking for? Are you looking for a psychologist because you have a certain pain and you need someone to talk about it? What is this pain? Is it something that is related to relationships? Is it something that is related to the way you view yourself? Is it something that is related to your physical experience? Or is it something that is a bigger question about the meaning of life? So let's take the question about the relationships. Maybe I'm finding that it's harder for me to create connections that are fulfilling with romantic partners or with people in general. Then I'm going to be looking for a psychologist who specializes in relationships. Or I might also look for all kinds of coaches, life coaches that are specializing in relationships. What I'm going to first of all look at is the material that maybe is available about this person, about the way they work. Maybe this kind of videos, right? There are so many psychologists now, so many life coaches that you get to choose. By the way, groups are amazing if you are trying to work on your relational patterns. They can give you a lot of feedback, and they also can give you that sense whatever you experience are not alone. You know, when we are with our pain by ourselves, we sometimes don't realize that we have such a common human experience. So groups can be amazing for this. All kinds of gatherings. You know, if it has to do more with your sexuality, you may want to explore the world of Tantra. There are basically groups on anything. You also may want to look into all kinds of things that improve mood if your difficulty is around the mood. Sometimes food, physical exercise, picking up an activity that you're really excited about can be that answer. You know, it's so funny that I'm saying this as a psychologist, and I'm thinking about, I have this council of colleagues that can come and say, Dr. Ira, how come you're saying this? You know it's not enough. You know that nothing can compare to one-on-one session with a psychologist for a gazillion of years. I'm sorry, the council of colleagues, I don't think it's true. I think that people need to know that they have different options and you have to investigate. Here's what I have to say. There is this story, which I'm not sure if it's true or not or where it came from, but I love it anyhow, and I think it gives a food for thought. And the story says that once when people in one of the tribes in Africa heard about how in West people go to psychotherapy, they sit in these little rooms, and this is how they treat depression, they were really perplexed, because that sounded like something that will only support you feeling more and more depressed, rather than going out, getting together with people, with the community, contributing, doing things that you love, being outdoors, was their way to treat depression. This is the whole different conversation. Again, I just want you to know this, that there are all kinds of options. If you are wondering about experiences that allow you to tap into inexplicable parts of life, then you might consider all kinds of therapists that exist and therapists that are more spirituality, holistic wise. Play and explore and just research. Okay, now you know that you're looking for a psychologist. And here are a few things that I want you to remember. 1, you are the one hiring them. Yeah, that means that you get to interview that person. You get to really ask all the questions that you have. So, for example, sometimes people tell me, well, one of the things I want to make sure that my psychologist is going to be gay positive, or that they are polyamory positive, or any other question. You really have the right to ask them. And very often you can ask the person you're thinking to schedule an appointment to have a 15-minute session. Now, not everyone is willing to do so, especially some psychologists who are sought after. They may ask you to simply come and pay for their hour session, and this is how you can get to know them and see if it works for you. So this is, of course, is also legitimate. Second thing that you need to know, it doesn't matter if you got a great recommendation, if this person has 1,000 doctorate degrees. What matters is your experienced quality of connection. In simple words, if you come into the session and you feel like with this person you're seen, and it's nice and cozy, and the conversation is flowing, and you feel like you are really being loved. I really want to say this, you know what? You can feel that you are loved and that that person is really curious about you. If you feel good, if you feel that there is a chemistry between the two of you, then that's worth a shot. If you don't feel that, keep looking. This interpersonal connection is the number one predictor for how good your therapy is going to work for you. Mwah. But here is something that I also really want you to know. Psychological abuse does happen in psychotherapy, and it really sucks. So my next video is going to be about that. How to recognize it and to walk away. Be kind to yourself, and please remember that psychotherapy is not for you to feel judged or wronged or fixed. It's really a space for you to explore yourself in a safe and loving environment. Because the research shows because the research shows English is sometimes so hard. Okay, because the research shows